Hello and welcome back to another video for Final Fantasy XIV with me, Meoni. Today we're going to be looking at the DawnTrail teaser trailer for the next expansion for Final Fantasy XIV. I haven't actually done a reactions to this yet. I thought I'd post that today. And also a bit of a breakdown, kind of see what I can see from this. If you see other things in this trailer, feel free to let me know. I'm super excited for 7.0, so let's go straight into this and have a look. We're going to be pausing throughout. Oh boy. Also, the music specifically in this trailer is just amazing. It's typical, like, top tier, you know, Soken bliss, basically. Let's put it on the proper resolution. This sea, by the way, at the start, where it just pans across the coral, oh boy, it just makes me want to dive into the water. Look at how beautiful and blue that is. Once upon a time, eh? And then we get this huge pan out with the Square Enix logo made out of a coral reef, which I think is fantastic.
Blue seas.
Blue seas and blue skies. There's our little boat bobbing around on the horizon. Look at this. Oh, think of all of the treasure that could be buried in that water. All the shipwrecks. This is a super important bit, so there'll be lots of pausing. So the big boat heading westwards towards the great new world, which is where the expansion is set to be taken place. Yeah. And this, I think, okay, so a lot of people are thinking the same thing. So Meteor is dressed up in a gown. Obviously, this looks very swashbucklery, I think most people will say. He looks very much like it was the start of Assassin's Creed Black Flag or something like that. The comparisons are clear. If we look at just the boots here, especially with the straps, there's nothing significant there. But we're tapping our foot out of what? Eagerness, anticipation, excitement, or just looking forward to a new adventure, you know, on the horizon. It even looks Assassin's Creed-like here as well, with the way that the hood is on. Like, you got to think of how warm it would be out here to wear something like this, as well as a suit of armor.
Enjoying yourself for a change?
This is probably one of the best bits. People went absolute nuts to see Erunvile in an actual cutscene, like a pre-rendered cutscene. I also like his little smirk, like, haha. Enjoying yourself for a while, for once. Yeah, it is really cool to see a Vieira, let alone you know, a main character. He has very easily become a main character, I think. But this ship is beautiful. He's posed that question to Meteor, and Meteor just smiles like. Also, Square Enix, you know, people are going to ask for this specific type of stubble as well. Like, they're not going to rest until you give them this exact... Look, we've even got chapped lips as well. Look at the detail on this. Because of the sea itself, it's dried out his lips. You can see. That's crazy. I didn't see that before. Just the quality of this cutscene is amazing. Obviously, Creative Business Unit 3, famed for doing Final Fantasy 16 as well as 14. And a lot of other projects as well. Really, really great team. This then is obviously Yogg-Turall, which is obviously the big continent of the new world, or at least the southern section, which we saw in a map in the keynote. So we've got these beautiful waterfalls. It really is giving the idea that this is an untamed landscape, right? Untouched by man. Look at that. That could easily be, if we were to get like a high-res version of that as a print screen, holy moly. Like that, that would look incredible in like a display or something. So the amount of artwork that is going to come out of this game expansion, just, yeah, I want all of it. We've got some like parakeets flying by. That gives you a good idea of where we are in the world as well. Now we're going to see the Mamulja. The Mamulja, obviously, as we knew them as a beast tribe or tribal quest, you know, obviously under the thumb of the primal. But over here in the new world, where they come from, it seems like they are the majorative, like the main race here. As you can see, crawling up the side of here, we've got like a warrior weapon here, like an axe. It really does look like the setting of an Indiana Jones film or something, like the Amazon rainforest or something like that. It's beautiful. We've got a Mamuljar here searching for something or someone in the jungle. This gives you an idea of the denseness that they're hoping to go for, and the side-by-side comparisons we saw of the new graphics update and the intention behind trying to increase foliage density. This won't be too far away from the truth of actually in the game as well. I know this is pre-rendered CG, but I can't wait to see what the zones look like. We saw some pictures already and I'm blown away, but the graphics update is going to be amazing. So these guys are searching for something. Low on the audio track here is a roar. I don't know if you can hear that. Now, is that a roar or is that a horn? Are they like doing like a search horn? We've got some butterflies here which have this interesting ability to camouflage themselves as leaves. This is quite natural in nature for, to prevent predators from eating you. You blend into environments. I think there are various types of moths that do this. That weird... That's the thing I took from this particular trailer was, what was that sound? It really does seem like it's something reaching out as like a howl or a horn, like a hunting horn. We've got characters here walking through, but it also looks like Estinian is joined with these. So these are allied to our cause, presumably, or at least to Estinian's cause, because supposedly in the keynote, the Scions are supposed to be like split apart in decisions, because we're supposedly helping, different parties ascend the throne or something. I don't really understand the prospect. Estinian looking fine. Presumably he is with them and not just creeped up behind them. It certainly looks like he's with them, like they're teaching him where something is. Maybe they were trying to find something in the forest, like a specific ruin or an artifact, or I don't know. Then we've got this. This is a very weird picture. So we've got some kind of beast that's been felled. It's not necessarily dead. You can see the teeth here. Maybe this is what they were hunting in the forest. I have no idea. But as you can see with the red roofs, we are back in Tulial. Tulial, shown in the keynote, had pictures of red slanted roofs like this. So we know that this is in Tulial itself, the city, presumably in the market district as well. We can take a look from this picture. You'll notice that the seat of this, as they mentioned, had a palace where the Mamuljar, basically leader, lived. This looks like the side of that palace, and this is in the market district of Tulial. And they are happy. They've returned from their journey. They've acquired their prey, this giant monster being carted in with an escort here of all of these Mamuljar, celebrating a successful hunt. I love this as well, the beating of the drums. It looks so natural. And to see these people that ordinarily you would be forgiven for thinking, oh, they're just monsters. But it's nice to see this humanoid aspect of them, what a free beast race would look like. You know what I mean? Like without temperance and things like that. You also see these little versions, which I didn't see the first 7 times I watched this trailer. We've got mini Mamuljar, like baby Mamuljar, children running around. And then there's a difference, obviously, between the types of headdress. Presumably this makes this a more feminine stature. I don't know. Beating of the drums, walking through, like they're parading, they're celebrating the hunt. Maybe this beast was plaguing their city for a while. We've got... that appears to be an aura if you squint your eyes and zoom in a little bit with the horns, maybe. But yeah, there's supposed to be also, Tulial is home to not only the Mamuljar, but a certain type of Hrothgar, which it was mentioned on one of the keynote slides. So presumably we'll see female Hrothgar in the EU Fanfest trailer. I'm hoping anyway. This then is cutting to inside the same building. So this is in Tulial. This is actually in the temple. So I don't know necessarily that this is I don't think this is necessarily a bad fight between the Mamuljar leader and Meteor. Although you will notice in some of these scenes, very briefly, you'll see that Meteor is using a one-handed sword here, no shield, right? Which is why people are like, well, this is clearly the new the new job, right? Since they said melee DPS as one of the options. The other is a caster DPS. I mean, it'd be amazing 180 if they suddenly, like, he got beaten in a duel and then suddenly pulled out, like, magic through his sword or something just to throw people off. But I'm thinking it's going to be like a swashbuckler, a corsair. Maybe he has a pistol underneath here. You'll see, look. So he clashes, gets beaten, and does a dodge, like a forward roll to prevent himself from harm as he's being propelled backwards. This is in the throne room, as you can see, that the seat of a Mamulja would sit. And here then is the two-headed boss guy, I presume, of the entire city. Now, I believe his name is Galul Jaja, which is the head of the Mamulja. And speaking of heads, he has two of them. He's a two-headed leader. Now, I don't think this is necessarily us going there to, like, rain on his parade. It seems to me almost like he's challenged us to a duel or something. But it's most likely he'll be one of the antagonists of the story. But look at that. As we basically dodge roll out of the way, there's a lot of acrobatic moves going on here. I don't know if you've noticed. The way he dodges. So he deflects and then, like, spirals like a pirouette, and then his cloak sets fire. In this scene, very specifically, you can see underneath the robe, and it is basically a pirate outfit. Look, we've got the high collar, which is very similar, and this, whatever this is on this particular frame, I really think that's a pistol. I really do think that's a pistol. And it would also make sense to be on the right side of his character, like his right, because the way that you do, you would be in the days of piracy, or you see in a lot of movies, they draw with their left hand from the right side of their body. So you pull the gun from your right side hip, or you know, the holster to the left side, because it's faster to quick draw that way than it is to have it on your left leg and pull with your left hand. So he's able to cross draw whilst also using a cutlass or blade in the right hand. That would make sense. That's what I think's going on here, and that's what I think that is. I could be totally wrong, probably. But as you can see, Meteor has a bit of damage. He's like, I guess it's time to unleash my final form. And at this scene, it probably would. In the EU Fanfest, hopefully it's an extended version. They pull off that robe and you'll see the new job. That's when I think the reveal will come, at least for this job. But instead we get a fade to black. And then straight into this fruit. This fruit, I forget the name of it. Someone in the comment section needs to tell me. But Alice has found this South American style fruit, which is actually a real fruit in real life. I didn't realize this, but that fruit exists. Apparently it's sweet, and it's kind of got like hollow sections within it. I really want to try one of those. But again, I'll add an annotation. I forgot what it was called. But yeah, based on reality. So you can kind of get an idea of where you are in retrospect to our real world, you know, as a parallel. But we're in the market district of Tulial once again, exploring the bazaar. The beach is that way, if I remember correctly, from the orientation of the keynote pictures. So exciting. Also, we have here, briefly as we turn the page, this is Ishtola, obviously, researching things. The thing they didn't want you to see there, I don't know. It appears to be a Mamulja with a blade, right? So you don't see that much for like maybe half a frame. So maybe that's significant. Obviously, they're an ancient people. There's the throne itself. So something relating to the sun. This looks very Mayan almost. And then she looks up. So presumably, what she's seeing right now, presumably, is above her, she's found a statue or something, or hieroglyphic type things, or what it might be, the scenery behind it, and she's matched it to the book and then makes a realization of what she's seen. But so there we go. So this is like, it looks like a throne, but it's in like a pictograph or whatever you want to call that, with two-headed Mamulja and the staff, and then there's the sword. So you saw in a previous picture a Mamulja with one head with the sword, and then this is of the cane. So maybe it's the joining of two, I don't know, the realization. But that scenery, also the work they've put into making Ishtola look as beautiful as possible, blows me away every time. This is on a whole new level than the Endwalker trailer. You know, look at those eyes. Oh boy, I could stare at those all day, but we won't. And then it switches straight in. As she looks down, we have that perspective zoom into the bazaar again. We have a fella wearing all of the beautiful fabrics, chilling out with his gold bling, like walking through town. We've got Grahat here looking upwards, presumably at the moon. He's bought himself a taco, a nice snack. You can see all of the rest of these other characters also purchasing street food, enjoying themselves. The steam, it's really got that sort of street food, bazaar, late night sort of feel to it. You can almost smell the scene. And then obviously Grahat here, best boy of the cat form, going, oh my god, look at it. And then taking a massive bite as, just that frame alone. That should be the thumbnail, honestly. But yeah, I'm really happy that Graha is being, like, he's really, really excited for that. He's like, oh, tacos, big fat tacos, finally. And then we've got a scene with the children, Mammal Jar again. Estinian not exactly enjoying being famous. It looks like then, from the perspective of this, as we saw him earlier, Estinian goes out, successfully finds a monster that was making that horrible screechy noise. They hunt it. They successfully bring that back. Meanwhile, Meteor fights the boss of the entire place, whilst Estinian's trying to help the locals. They bring in the corpse of it, and then Estinian is celebrated as a hero. That's where I'm at so far. Look at these Mamulja that are lifting them up like, yeah, we won. And he's like, oh, I don't know how to deal with this. You know. But look at the gold on this as well. The city of gold, as they say. Now we got this scene as it pans to more of Tulial. These local ladies. I think this is a Pelo Pelo, which is one of the new tribal races, but without the mask on. I think that's probably looks very similar because they are humans basically, or humanoids that live in the mountain. And this probably is like a lead up to that. Obviously, Thancred looking very Thancred-y. I still don't understand his expression here. He's a bit of a playboy at the end of the day, so maybe his intentions here are more of a like, hey ladies, do you know the way to this? Sort of thing. I'm guessing. I'm sure there's a lot of fanfic going to be generated around this. But as you can see, we also have some interesting things on this map. We have what looks like a wing with a tick mark next to it, like, oh, okay, that's a landmark. Then we have X marks the spot, so presumably that's where we're... Is this a treasure map? Are we doing treasure maps, Fancred? Are we looking for this, like, artifacts in this entire continent? If the entire continent is a big treasure hunt, I would love it. I can't wait for that. And we've got more detail as she pans her head back. She's looking to her friend going, should we tell this guy? We've got another landmark here that's got a tick mark next to it. So presumably it's like, you know, trying to geolocate, basically. So this landmark, and this landmark create a triangle, and then it would be at the heart of those cross points of where their line of sight would cross, presumably. So those two would be equidistant, and then that one would face in to that location. I'm guessing. There's also a coastline here as well. Hopefully this has some actual bearing on the story as well. Obviously, Orion J enjoying a pineapple. Is this the first time we've actually seen a proper pineapple in the game and not just in flavor text? He's also not just enjoying a pineapple, he's enjoying it as a drink. So obviously in lots of places around the world, I've never been to, sadly, they get pineapples, they open them up, and then you've got like cocktails in a pineapple itself. Then you drink through a straw. We've got, this looks like Thancred's gunbreaker weapon just propped up against a wall, basically. So he's probably looking at Thancred and going, oh boy, here we go again. And we've got some Mamuljar in a bar, chilling out. Then we've got this beautiful view again of some plant life as well. Almost looks like phoenix feathers. We got like herbs and stuff above here. This is almost like a weather vane. I don't know, like an inn room. And then we've got the temple itself with these lights and the beautiful clouds. It looks like dawn is popping up, like they've spent the night there with these beautiful slanted red roofs again. And as we zoom up to the sky, we're back on the boat. At this point, then, Meteor unveils his new look, which almost identical to like an Assassin's Creed unveil, like pulling the hood back. You've got the collar. Yeah, I really think swashbuckler, Corsair or something. There's a lot of aging going on here as well. A lot of people have paid extra notice to the fact that there were grey hairs, right? So it's showing that Meteor is aging. Like the player base is aging with the game that we've known and loved for so long. You can read into that analogy for as much as you want. Obviously, we've got that, you know, the strap across the chest there. Very easily, there could be a pistol underneath there. There's a slight indentation as well. But I really think, yeah. Also, there's another note that people have made is that, I don't know if it's like a CG error, but the sword is missing. A lot of people have noticed that. There's no sword in the scabbard, which is interesting. Very interesting. I also like this big light on the front there. We've got birds. And that's pretty much it. Tural. The thing about Tural as well is the way that it's situated. You can see the top of that palace as well, which is what the main logo that fades in is all about. This is Tulial. Tulial is in the logo, if you're wondering what the logo is about. We also have this like spined coast here with mist. Not sure what that's about. Hopefully we get to learn more. But we've got a beautiful harbour. The dirigibles. This is another thing to make a key point. Instead of walking around the jungle, they use dirigibles to go through the mountains. Over this mountain range is, so basically there's a mountain people called the Pelopelo, and then over the mountain range is another jungle-based area. So they use dirigibles to go across here and across the mountain. I think the keynote really helped me understand this a lot more than I would have done. But as it zooms in, we get that beautiful logo of Tural and Tulial atop here with the temple, which almost looks like it was built around the temple itself. And there we go. There's the DawnTrail teaser trailer, summer 2024. So that's, I think, although they haven't confirmed this, I think that's part 1 of 3. Because what they've done traditionally, or at least a couple of times so far, is they've had 3 trailers and then put them together. So I think the cutoff points clearly are going to be a job unveil here, and then probably some more storyline information to do with that beast in the jungle, bits and pieces. But yeah, that's my impressions. I think it's a fantastic piece of art alone, honestly. Like, it is mind-blowing where we have got to all this time. Like it has been a long time since I've seen visuals of this fidelity demonstrating a game. A lot of time you'd be looking at like a separate game, like a separate AAA title, but MMORPGs, I never thought we'd have this fidelity. It really is beautiful, and there's so much to take from it as well, and I can't wait to see what we get at EU Fanfest, which I will be in person, so I'll be able to react to that live, and yeah. Oh boy, I can't wait for that. I really can't. I'm excited about the expansion and all of the features they've mentioned so far. Let me know what you think about this trailer. Did I miss anything? Is there anything you think could be missing from this? What do you think the next job will be? I think it'll be swashbuckler / Corsair, a pirate of some description with a cutlass and a pistol. But maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. I like being wrong. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.